Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Jasmine, the Buffet Witch, but you already know that. This is the first day of the new life for me. As of just some things I've shifted around, and the mornings are going to be primarily when I do my makeup content. Until I get the groove of things, and I'm super excited. So I wanted to start my channel off with some basic things. I should already have like a few collection videos on, well, at least one very long specialty. It's probably my favorite area of my makeup collection. And today I want to do probably my eyeshadow palettes and maybe some lip content. So that's what we're going to do today. But this video is going to be on Caboodle, Caboodle Beauty. Side note, I still have this like little cough that comes up every once in a while. That's from like the last sickness my son and I had last year. It doesn't like bother me, like it doesn't hurt or I'm not sick. I don't have anything, but I talk too much and it's just like like a little squeeze. But now, this was my second to last week of work, and I've resigned, so I'm done. But I felt a little something, and I tried to cut it off at the head yesterday. So I drink a lot of mullein tea, very good for your lungs and whatnot. But I've got the residual, like my voice is very I am ready for love. We can hit those notes. So I'm gonna be coughing like every other sentence. Please bear with me. I will try to swallow it. But with that being said, still sounding like I got the gobbledygook. Some things never change, all right? But I wanted to bring Caboodle Beauty to my channel. Caboodle Beauty for me is it's just my way of saying like a shop my stash or like monthly products I'm going to be using. This is going to be quarterly, I'm thinking, because it's also shop my stash slash my panning situation. So it's called Caboodle Beauty because it's all these things in my caboodle. I picked this up from Ulta. I can't remember if I actually posted the video about it when I first got it, but I know I've been talking about Caboodle Beauty now that you knew what it was. But like most people who do content creation in the beauty space, end of the year, beginning of the year is like turnover time. So it's like declutters, collection videos, things like that. So I'm not doing declutters because I don't have anything that I want to declutter. I will talk about declutters later because there are some things I had to get rid of, but I'm not going through my collection just because it's the new year and I'm getting rid of stuff. I'm not doing that. So in this caboodle, I have something from every category, and it's just stuff that I want to use. I need to get some use out of because it's just sitting there. So we're gonna get started. I would go through everything that's in it, but that will be very long, maybe later. But as of right now, we're just gonna get started with primer. Primer is something I've brought to my collection again, just meaning like I wasn't using them before. I buy them. Don't ask me why, girl, because I was buying them. I have two little baskets full of primers, and I wasn't using them because I'm just sitting and playing in makeup. What do I need a primer for? Well, I need it for a really good base. So I've started to do that. And the primers I've been loving are not in this caboodle because one, this is about panning products, and two, they are my favorites. So I like to use them when I'm going out. And when I mean going out, I mean like going to work with makeup on, okay? There's not many places I'm going and I'm not wearing makeup very often outside of my house. Just because I like the way my skin looks and sometimes I'm just lazy. So in the caboodle, I am using primers that just have been sitting and I really want to try. So far, I have tried the NYX Marshmallow Primer and I did not like that one, so she got decluttered. I don't know if it was old or if oh my God, a beautiful hawk just flew right by my window. I can still see it. Oh, I love winter. That was majestic. I'm having such a good morning. Okay. Anywho, Side note, my husband and I, we love photography. He's more nature photography. Like he's so good at capturing sunsets and uh, like landscape, animals, flowers, bugs, everything. He's so good at it. And when we, like the first year, maybe the second, no, the first year we were together, I bought us Nikon cameras. Maybe it was the second year, but we used to go to a park or whatever and try to take pictures of the same thing or like in the same area and see what each other would be looking at. One thing we have in common, we love moss. Like nature people, you know what I'm talking about. Like you find like a mossy rock or a mossy piece of wood, you're like, oh, look at this whole little fairy world. It's so beautiful. And it was just really fun to see the different point of views that we were both taking pictures from. Um, but he is so good at catching animals off guard, and I'm okay with it. But the one bird I can't get, not that I've gotten a ton of birds, but I can get some. I can't get a hawk. Hawks, that's why they call it the eye of a hawk, like Hawkeye. Like they see everything. And I'm sure the eagles do too, but eagles must be like, I'm majestic, go ahead, take my picture. Because when we go up north, like, there are so many eagles. But I have never been able to get a good photo of a hawk. My husband has, of course he has. But, anyways, photography is something I want to get back to this year. So that's why I'm like, oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was so close. If only I had my camera out. Anyways, so yeah, primer. The primer I'm using today is from Milani, the Skin Quench, because I have moved over to more hydrating bases and finishing sprays, and I've really been loving that. So I like the pore minimizing one, or like the no pore zone from Milani. So I thought I would give this one a try. All right, for foundation in here, I want to finish the Juvia's Place Radiant. I am Radiant Foundation. And I see on Ulta that they also have a new, I think it's also hydrating, a stick foundation. I am on a no-buy because I have way too much makeup and I will not be buying that foundation. But it is really nice to see Juvia's Place coming out with some more things because Miss Juvia's, I've been waiting. Like, where you been? What you been doing, girl? Not dropping no palettes, I can tell you that much. I've been waiting for my new Juvia's Place palette and she just was, lollygagging, not doing it. Anyways, so I'm also going to go in with the Born This Way Multi-Scope Concealer, shade Chai. We're going to use this as color correction because I've also been color correcting a little bit. And that's been nice. Good finishes. Or good, like, end product with color correction. So I'm going to go in around my lips. And, like, where you would put, like, your bronzer, I don't know. It's just, like, a darker streak there. And so I always feel like if I don't have like the best match of foundation, it's a little bit noticeable there. Why am my tongue thick or something? Speak up, girl. Enunciate, Tanya. Enunciate. All right. But anyways, yeah. So color correcting has really been helpful in getting like flawless coverage and whatnot. It's not rocket science. Y'all know what it is and what it does. I'm using the color Chai from this because it's my skin tone match, not 100% because Chai is a little bit too golden for me. I do have a olive undertone, but it works really well as a color correction product, especially under a foundation. So that's what we're going to do. All right. And I'm just going to buff this in. Great concealer. I harp on this quite a lot. If you are a content creator and you're someone who does like multiple looks in one sitting, this is one of my favorite concealers to recommend for that because it is such a good formula that you can pretty much like put it on, remove it, and reapply it over powder, next to powder. It doesn't really matter. It's a really great touch-up concealer. It just blends really well into whatever is on your face, and it just makes reapplying so easy. So anytime I'm doing like maybe a one topic, 3 looks, I'm going to use this concealer because it is so easy, so quick to reapply and seamlessly. The next concealer that I would say does that is, of course, the Nikki K Super Coverage Concealer. But because that one is a little bit more emollient, there's a bit longer of a dry time. So if I'm looking for speed and agility, I'm going to go with this one. And as you can see, it's a good color, but it's very, very golden. So good for color correction, not exactly my skin color. Like I would definitely have to neutralize it. So we're going to go in with the Juvia's place, and like I said, she's almost empty. Such a good time. All right, so how have you guys been doing? I'm pretty good. Start of the year wasn't really anything to write home about, but it wasn't bad. Very happy. Been having a good past few months. And just really excited for the coming month. So the Juvia's Place foundation is just a little bit lighter than that concealer, which should balance things out really nicely. There we go. Yeah, been having a good few months. I am really excited to get some time to do my makeup and to do a little fitness as well. I really want to get into movement, specifically stretching, not so much yoga. Like I would love to do yoga, but I personally feel like yoga is something you need an instructor for, at least in some capacity. There are some people, of course, who just get it and can like slow their mind down enough to like listen to the instructions and really let their body apply it. But the few times that I went and had some yoga classes with a woman that I met, I realized that I definitely need an instructor, because you can throw your body out of whack if you are just, your arm is outstretched a little bit too much to the left or the right or whatever. And so I just need someone to show me like the basics of like how to feel when I'm like overexerting, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it, but personally, I feel like I would need an instructor, at least for entry-level things, until I get into a good groove. But stretching is a little bit different. I found some really good videos and people on YouTube that have really concise and easy to follow videos with instructions that make sense to me. So I definitely want to get back into stretching. Yesterday was like my first day, or my first night not going into work, and I was very anxious because I was supposed to work the rest of this, or I was supposed to work tonight and then next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I just couldn't, one, because I'm getting sick, so I was already gonna be like, I'm gonna be calling out because I feel like warmed over death, or whatever that phrase is. But what was I saying? What the hell was I talking about? Oh, wow. This is why I need a break. So, yes, so I was quite anxious, and I was like, okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Because the routine is now completely open and free. And I was like, you know what? Write a list, just a handful of simple things that you're going to do right now, and then do them. And I did everything on my list, and I was like, look at that. Okay, let's just use that. Let's use this little template. So I put stretch for 10 minutes, and it's so funny. I did it while I was in my room with my son. So I'm stretching and he is playing, and he definitely likes when I stay in his room with him. And so I got up because my husband came home, and my battery is dead, so he was out there trying to jump it or whatever. I was just trying to talk to my husband. My son brought me right back into that room and put me back on that little couch I was just stretching on. I said, you know what, you right, because that wasn't 10 minutes. So he helped me reach my goal, because he was like, sit down, girl. And then he came over and like tried to put his blanket on me, and he laid down and like gave me a kiss, like good night. Because he has a little kid couch that it's like that like high quality bed foam, Pastapedia, you know what I'm talking about, Sealy Pastapedia, somebody. And I had it laid out, and I was like using it to stretch on, and he was like, go to sleep, mama. So I got my 10 minutes of stretching in, and I feel so good today. So moving on. Now I'm going to conceal under the eye with the caramel shade. I like this one. And this one is just about empty. Yeah, we're scraping the sides. Lovely. I love that for me. But every time I think this one's empty, she's like, girl, I got more. I've got more. All right. So per the usual, we are going to skip the brows because you've seen it a bajillion times, all right? I am going to use one Caboodle Beauty product. And then my color case by Made by Mitchell, because my name is Jasmine and that's what I do here. But for the brows in Caboodle, I have the LA Girl Brow Pomade in Soft Black. I love this thing, and it is about halfway empty, if not more. I'm super excited to finish this lovely, lovely product. That's what I'm going to use for one brow. And then to set my face, I have the Revolution Beauty. This is like the double bake thing, so it's like a pressed powder and a loose powder. I'm only using this because I want something that's a bit more brightening, but I don't like the loose powder. We're gonna use the loose powder today, but I don't like it because this componentry is so freaking messy. Revolution, explain yourself. Why would you do this to me? That is rude. Unless I'm not opening this bitch right. I cussed too, by the way. This is ridiculous. Who wants to mess with this? So for that purpose, or for that reason, I just don't be wanting to use this. And I'm actually going to, I know that's wasteful, but I need to get that off the edges. Rude. Revolution, not revolutionary. Okay? Ugh, ridiculous. Let me just leave that open so we can... Okay, but that's what I'm gonna set the under eyes with. For the rest of the face, I've actually been setting with the Juvia's Place bronzer. This is the Duo in the shade Tan because it's a good combo for what I like my face to look like. So the Juvia's Place foundation is quite full coverage as well. And then of course I do have a full coverage concealer under it. So I don't need a ton of setting, which is why this works, because it's not a face powder. So it doesn't have a ton of pigment. It can if you build it up, but just a very light dusting of this is what I'm going to use on the center and the perimeter of the face. For our bronzer, I am panning my Mented Cosmetics Yacht Life bronzer. So much pan in her, lovely. I want to use this up. This is going to be the bronzer that I use pretty much for until it's empty. I don't think I'm going to touch any of my other bronzers unless it's a specific video, okay? Then I'm going to come back to you and we will do bronzer, or I'm sorry, blush and highlight together and some lip content, all right? Back in a jiffy pop. All right, we're back. I've got my coffee warmed up. Sun is rising. Light is going to do things. I'm not worried about it. So we're done, and I am doing a black and teal brow with a little teal. That was an accident, but I was like, I like it. We're going to keep it. I've started to do my brows a little bit thicker because I feel like when I make them thicker, it's easier for me to get the shape similar. I'm not going for symmetrical brows anymore. I'm going for fun brows. So we are done. We're set, and I love the finish of this. I will say, though, I feel like unless I can find... a container to put it in, I feel like I'm going to declutter this part of, I like this part of it. It is just so incredibly messy. I'm getting it everywhere. Yeah, I like this part of it. This part's good, but yeah, I'm gonna declutter this. Girl, you was a mess, garbage. I'm not even gonna think about it. You gotta go. She over there smoking, poof, just mushroom cloud, ridiculousness. Anyways, face is set, bronzer's on, brows are done, and highlight. Let's move into some blush. For blush, very simple. Like the first thing I thought that, like, I don't want this to expire. I want to use these at least until they start crumbling, because sometimes, you know, you get pan and then the product starts to crumble. So for blush, I am panning in Caboodle my Juvia's Place, what were these called? Saharan Blush Volume 1 or 2. Can't remember which one this is. I want to say this is 1. But yeah, I need to pan these. I at the very least want to pan the orange in the kind of like, it's my Raisin MAC dupe, okay? So we're gonna use these for our blush today. And I'm gonna use one of my Made by Mitchell brushes. I'm gonna go in with the terracotta one. And this is my preferred method for doing my blush, where I like to put it on the back of the cheekbone, or the back of the apple, I guess. I put the darker color there. I do have blush blindness, and I do not want to be cured, okay? I like a heavy blush. Beautiful. All right. And then on the apple part, we're going in with the orange. Okay. And I can just about see pan in the orange, which is great. Okay. So that one went in a little heavy, but that's all right. Again, I likes a blushy blush. Okay, and then I like to throw that over the bridge of my nose. It's pretty much the only thing I do to my nose. I don't contour. I feel like I have a natural contoured nose, so we just let it ride, okay? Beautiful. All right, and yeah, the terracotta one is like cracking. Juvia's Place, her matte products have a really hard pressed formula. And if you depot these things, if you bend that pan at all, I've said this many times, they are like little landmines. But I've definitely noticed because that one cracked and that's why it has that much free space. These things are dusty or they like crumble and crack. So once the terracotta one, once she is too crumbly, she gotta go. Okay, she gotta go. But the orange one, I really want to hit pan on that because you know if you've been on my channel, I love the Mango Daiquiri shade from Made by Mitchell in all of his formulations. So the orange blush, it makes it to where I can use Mango Daiquiri without using Mango Daiquiri because I've always loved orange blush. My first orange blush was actually from NYX, but it was called Cinnamon. Okay, I'll take it. For highlighter, another love of mine. So happy I found this thing. Very sad that it seems to be like a one-off product from W7. I've seen other products, other like highlighting, bronzing type products from the brand at Five Below, but I have not seen this palette since I bought it, which really sucks because it is gorgeous, okay? So I'm just going to I try to get all my brushes out and I actually have a towel down so I'm not clicking and clacking and making so much noise. I'm trying to learn from last year's mistakes. But I keep forgetting like certain things. I forgot to pull out a highlighting brush. So I'm actually going to swirl into the two darker shades. I love doing that with orange blush. It's just these bronzy tones. And like this one's more rose gold than anything. These bronzier tones look so good with orange or deeper blushes. So I love this palette because it is they're so gentle, but so impactful. Especially like I get hit in the right light. I have this photo of me and my son, and my highlighter looks so good. I was like, ooh, juicy apples. Okay. All right. That is that. Now, the only thing that's a little bit more, like not so structured in my Caboodle are the lip products. In the Caboodle, I just have products that I really want to use, but when it comes to like a comfortable lip or a lip that I like to have on when I'm doing videos, I have something new. And I'm so happy that I try to say bought it and did it at the same time. I'm so happy I bought it because this product is not for your lips, but I have really been diving into using products for whatever the hell I want to use them for, okay? So what I'm talking about is actually a stick contour, but it's a great color for a lip liner for me, for a dark lip liner. You know, I love my dark lips. So I was like, whatever, I'll do what I want, you know, like Eric Cartman. And I'm using this contour product for my lips. So in this video, I'm not going to do any lip swatches or anything for you because we're going to do that in another video. So I'm going to show you this new combo that I am loving. Let me get it. So the new lip combo is actually going to be starring this Morphe Shape Lifter. It's so crazy. I have shade shifters, shape shifter, and now a shape lifter. But this is the micro contour stick in the shade Define. This is going to be my new lip liner, and I love her already, okay? Perfect. Easy, simple, exactly the color that I want and need. And because it's a contour, like maybe the texture is a little bit you know, more emollient, slightly, very slightly, than like a lip liner, but I love it. There have been so many lip liners that have come out, and I'm like, I would really love to try it. Like the Makeup Forever has some really nice looking lip liners, and then the new Kaleidos collection, that very intricate, really fun new collection they came out with, those lip liners, the darker ones, they look so good. But I'm like, I'm gonna try these instead, okay? I'm trying to figure out like why I buy certain brands and other brands. I'm like, I would love to, but I'm not going to. Don't know. Anyways, since I did finish Peach Please, we are going to finish Self Love. This one is just about empty as well. If I keep, like, seriously, if I keep using this, maybe she has 2 weeks. Again, like the concealer. Every time I think she empty, she gave me a little bit more. Lovely. All right. And then the gloss that this actually should go in Caboodle because I am trying to use her up. My Lancome 383. Like buffet faves, all right? And there you have it. That is the finished face. So, you know, I like to come to you, give you a base, give you a brow, give you a lip, and let it ride, okay? I love it. Oh, just all the elements that I really love. The thing I like about this lip is, doesn't it almost look just a squinch mauve? Just a little bit. I feel like looking at myself in the mirror, I see just a squinch of mauve. Like, is it a slightly plummy lip liner, or is it brown? And I love that. But mostly this gloss, I am so happy that I started to like really use it. It is so beautiful. It's such a great formula as well. It's not sticky. It's very shiny, very hydrating. But it looks good on every single lipstick, lip liner I've ever used. I love this so, so much. I'm so happy I have a backup. So before I let you go, let me show you a few other things that are in Caboodle Beauty that you will be seeing sprinkled in here, there, and everywhere. I'm going to be doing these quarterly, so until about April, these are the products that I'm going to try to work into my regular makeup, okay? So I put in, and this one is tricky. It's actually in here, and I hesitate to say this, it's not like super up for declutter, but I'm having a hard time with it, and I can't exactly explain why. My Cupid case is from Made by Mitchell, and it hurts my achy breaky heart to put Made by Mitchell in any collection or any category besides absolute love, okay? But I do have a hard time getting these to work the way I want them to, but I think it's because I don't really have a makeup artist mindset, and this is definitely a makeup artist product. I love all of these tones, even though they come off real milky-like, and I think sometimes I just want to use just the palette. I want to build an entire multi-look or multi-lip look just using the palette, and I think I need to just throw in a liner. Let the liner do some of the heavy lifting, you know what I mean? But it is a really beautiful formula. It is a very beautiful product. I love the way that it looks. I love the way that it feels. It's really just user error. So I put it in Caboodle to try to get myself to use it. If I use just one shade at a time, I love it. But you know me. Get your life together. I literally gasped like this was made out of crystal, okay? But yeah, I feel like if I use just one shade at a time, I love it. But you know me, I'm extra, so. But these will be in there. Give myself to use them. I love Made by Mitchell, and so I know that whatever I dislike about this product, user error, okay? So that's in there. I also pulled out, I might use these today. Come on now, these nails. Girl, I had to get my nails shortened. Here I was thinking I was going to be in the long nail brigade. Wrong. Okay. But I pulled out the Mayron Paradise water activated liners because that's not what that is, Jasmine. Because I want to get back into graphic liner and or liner just in general, because I feel like it's going to be so much fun to bring some color and creativity back to my channel. I feel like I was doing that a lot last year. and I want to get back to it. So maybe using these. I stand by water activated products are some of the easiest products to use, especially if you're a novice, because with the formula being activated by water, it's easy to clean up boo-boos if you make them. Just a lot easier to work with a product that's not going to be so long wearing in a full set. I feel like whenever I use product, like if I was using Made by Mitchell color cases all the time to try to do my eyeliner and I kept messing it up, I could only correct it maybe 2 or 3 times before my eyeballs would be like, pause, that's enough, right? With these, gentle removal, you can keep on playing, okay? It's like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop, all right? So that's in there. This was the other bronzer that I was going to try to pan as well. And I am still going to because I love this. She has seen some things, okay? I love this palette and I definitely have it in here because I want to use the bronzers, but mostly this is in here because I love these deep highlighters. Like, did you hear my stomach? Rude. Deep highlighters are really, really beautiful, and especially when I'm using like I said, orange blushes or a terracotta blush. These darker tones are so beautiful, and I really want to pair this highlighter with a purple blush to see what that does. So I just want to use this before I feel like it's way too old. It's already super old, but I love her. She still works great. She ain't growing nothing. She don't stank. She still swatches beautifully, applies beautifully, and wears beautifully. So we're going to use her until the very end, okay? Something else I have in the Caboodle, relatively new, but I do feel like I need to work with it because the second or third time I used it, I was a little bit less enthusiastic than I was the first time. And I'm talking about the Tier Mask Fit Red Cushion Foundation. I've since got a color that is closer to my skin tone. It's still not 100% the right color, but it is closer than the first one and a lot easier to correct. The reason why it's in Caboodle is because I am having a hard time with the application. I don't like the little sponge that it comes with, though now I see why it comes with that. But it's still a foundation that I need to buff out with a brush as it looks really streaky. And I feel like the application makes me feel like I don't like it all that much, but it is really pretty once you get it on. And I know there are other formulas of this, and I was watching the Bothered and Beautiful podcast, or is it Beautiful and Bothered? And they were talking about one of the other finishes that I think is like in a cream or a white container. I'm not, like I said, I'm on a no-buy, but after I finish this, I might veer into that one, see if I can find a color, because it is a really great foundation. Korean Beauty does their ingredient lists are a lot more, I don't want to say they're better than everything, but they tend to have a little bit more technology and a little bit more science behind it. And I feel like if we could get the colors to match, if we can get the colors to be as inclusive and as high quality as the products or the ingredients, it'll be a good time for everyone involved. But I do want to use that and also cushion foundation, I'm worried about it drying out. Even though it's closed, it's got that little window, you never know. I don't want it to dry out. Something that is in the Caboodle that actually should have been in my specialty collection video that I didn't put there because I don't know how I really feel about these are the little e.l.f. Finest Fleck eyeshadows. I think I have 6 of these. No, I have 5 of them. And they're not bad, but they're not great. They're not bad, but they're not great. And that's exactly why they're here. So we will be trying these out. And I don't know if it's just the colors, but they're very, very, like, Finest Fleck is a good name for it because it's a really fine product. It doesn't give a bunch of oomph, but sometimes you don't need all that oomph. You know what I mean? Something that I definitely want to use before they expire are my KVD, I never know this name, Everlasting Hyperlight Liquid Lipsticks. I want to use these before they expire because these are so good. It is it's a really, I want to say tough, but I'm going to say it's a strong formula. Long wearing, it's buildable. I do feel like application is quite sheer, like in one wash. It's got this delicate little doe foot, which makes it take a while to get on my lips, but I really do like these. I love these tones, like the tone of this blue and this green are perfect. They're very wearable to me, but like Dion says, if you're wearing it, it's wearable. So I really like these and I want to use them before they expire. Liquid lipstick is one of those products that's really hard to get through because it's a tougher formula, longer wearing, so sometimes even if you're just playing and you're creating content, the removal product can make you be like, I'm gonna use one liquid lipstick and bullets for everything else, because ain't nobody got time to be scrubbing off their entire lip skin. But honorable mention, definitely Miss Dark Wisteria is my favorite shade, because you know I love a dark purple lip, like a dark purple lip. More cool tone or neutral than like those warmer purples with warmer undertones. So this one with a gloss, well, first a black lip line and then a gloss. Stop it. No, don't stop it. Keep it going. I love this. So want to use these before they go kaplooey. Something else that I'm actually going to be doing another spotlight on, a whole nother round. My shade shifters from LA Girl. Look, they have seen better days, all right? I want to use these. I want to pan them. I want to use them over and over and over and over and over again. I love them so much. The shade Sunset is my favorite. She already has some pan in her, and that makes me super, super happy. I love these so much. I do have backups of this one. I don't need to get backups of the other ones because I have so many like multi-chrome and duochrome palettes now that I'm finding these shades in other formulas and other brands. So that's really nice. But I do really love these. They are still available on the LA Girl website. They're $11.99 each, I believe, which is what they were when I originally bought them. So they haven't gone up in price. Really great drugstore multi-chromes if you are interested in them and you don't want like a big palette. So love them. They do have a liquid correspondent product. I don't recommend those if you want like easy application. These are for easy application. The other ones, while you can get them to work, they're a bit more tedious, okay? I did declutter those, I believe. So maybe I did, I'm not sure. I think I decluttered those because they're a bit more tedious, okay? But want to use these, gonna see a whole, this is gonna start my spotlight series all over again, okay? And there are other things, but we'll talk about them at a later date. But that is Caboodle Beauty. Those are products I'm going to be using for the first quarter of the year. And I'm really happy. I really love the foundation. I didn't like this foundation when I originally bought it because it was just a bit too dewy. Oh my God, I forgot. It was a bit too dewy, but now, especially with primers, I feel like even dewy foundations or dewy setting sprays look really, really good. There's something about just having that primer, excuse me, under my foundation that just really works. And also, dewier foundation, I'm setting just a little bit heavier because I don't want to be dripping or gooey, you know? So it has been looking really nice with primers. So I'm very happy that I've done that. And the last step, my newest love, is the Revolution Super Fix Hydro Cool Dewy Fixing Mist. Revolution, I will forgive you for the setting powder because of this setting mist, okay? You are forgiven, but you need to fix that componentry because it's not revolutionary at all. But I love this. It's just like the Maybelline 3-second setting mist, except for not as like hairspray like you don't feel it lock in on your face, but I get really long wear. My face stays really fresh, dewy, not greasy or oily, and I just love it. So that is the video, guys. That is Caboodle Beauty. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. It's been me, Jasmine, the Buffet Witch, but you already know that because I told you, okay? Take care, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be very, very soon, all right? Bye, guys.